Assalamualaikum. A very good morning to my dear students and welcome back to your physics class, and this is your physics teacher again from United Public School. So students, in our last class I gave you a homework of this equation. So many of these students are unable to do this. Let me make you easy. I will show you how to balance this equation, right? So it is our skeletal equation which is unbalanced. As you can see here, we have three carbon and here we have one carbon only. Here we have 8 carbon hydrogen, here we have 2 hydrogen only, here we have 2 oxygen, here only one. So it is unbalanced skeletal equation, so we have to balance it. So what is this? As we know, O2 is our oxygen, it is carbon dioxide, and it is water. Then what is this new formula? C3H8. It is a propane, students. So it is a propane. So this equation is the combustion of propane, that is 3C3H8. So what is the properties of this propane? It is a colorless. It does not has any color, and it is odorless gas, which means it does not have any smell. Odor in the sense smell. So it does not has any smell also. And what can be used this gas in? Often be used as heating and cooking fuel. While heating we can use this gas, and while cooking we can use this fuel, right? This is the properties of the propane. So let us balance this equation. So first of all, draw a table presenting that elements and number of atoms. There is a left hand side and right side. So students, be careful and listen carefully so that you can understand, because it is very essential, it is very important. The balancing of equation is very important in your higher studies, in your 10th and in your intersection also. It is very important in physics as well as in chemistry in your higher studies, students. So listen carefully. So at left hand side we have carbon or hydrogen and oxygen. At left hand side we have 3 carbon, right? 3 over here, and here right hand side 1 carbon. Here hydrogen, come to hydrogen left hand side only 8, and here 2 hydrogens. Then oxygen left hand side 2 oxygen, and here 2, and here 1, 3, completely 3. Okay, so after filling the table, let us balance it. So the carbon is unbalanced, and hydrogen also unbalanced, and oxygen also unbalanced. So we have to balance. So it is better to balance with a most complicated substance, that is we have the most complicated substance, that is C3H8. So we have to, first of all, we have to balance this. So first look at the skeletal equation, as you can see here, and note that the 3 carbon atoms on the left hand side, right? So but only 1 on the right hand side, as you can see here. So if you add a 3 to the carbon dioxide over here, then get the balanced equation. Let us do it by adding 3, multiplying 3 at left hand side. We have 3 carbon and 3 carbon, so we have balanced it. Here we have to cut it, and we have to add 3 at right hand side. Okay, so in first equation we have balanced carbon. Okay, these have completed. Next come to hydrogen. So student, before that, remember that the atoms, before we multiply a number, right? So this number generally it is called as a coefficient. So this, before the atoms or the element, the number which we multiply, right? So that is called as coefficient number. What is called coefficient? Coefficient, right? So let us balance our hydrogen. Here we have 8 hydrogen in left hand side, and right hand side only 2 hydrogen. So let us do it. So here 8 we have. Then if we multiply this hydrogen with 4, then what happen? 4 to the 8. So here 8 hydrogen, here hydrogen. So cut here 2 and write as 8. So we have balanced our hydrogen also. Let's come to the oxygen. So we have balanced our hydrogen also in our next equation. Let's come to oxygen. So while we multiply hydrogen with 4, here oxygen also disturbed. So in left hand side we have, so here we have 3 to the 6 oxygen, and here 4 oxygen. 4 plus 6 plus 2, it has 10. So here we have to cut over here and we have to write 10, and we have to balance it left hand side. If we can, if how, by adding 5 over here. 5 to the 10 oxygen, 3 to the 6 plus 4 oxygen is equals to 10, right? So here we have to cut and add 10. So by this we have balanced our oxygen also. So this is our balanced equation, right? Understood? We have to just multiply the coefficients before the elements. We have to multiply it. First of all, to make easy, we have to take first complicated elements, then come to slowly, gradually lower elements. So students, you have another example from your textbook, that is iron oxide when reacts with aluminium to form aluminium trioxide and aluminium trioxide and iron. Okay? So it is our unbalanced equation. See, as you can see here, iron 2, here only 1, oxygen 3, here 3, okay, but aluminium here only 1, here 2. So it is our unbalanced, that which means skeletal equation, right? So we have to balance it. So we have an iron, oxygen and aluminium, 3 elements, right? So here 2 iron at LHS side and 1 at RHS side, 3 oxygen, here 3 oxygen, and here 1 aluminium, here 2 aluminium. Okay? So first iron we have 2 and here 1. To 2, here 1. If we do multiply iron in right hand side with 2, what you will come? 2 iron, here 2 iron. So here cut it to 1, 2. So we have balanced our iron, and next come to oxygen. Here 2, 3 oxygen, here 3 oxygen. Already it is in balanced condition. Let's come to aluminium. That is here only 1, here 2. So if we add 2 over left hand side, then what happened? 2 aluminium, right? So here cut 1 and 2. So we have our balanced equation 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, right? So this is our balanced equation. Simple, students, just you have to first follow without this is starting, so we are doing this table, but you have to do without this table. You have to do, you practice this balancing equation, because it is very important in your further classes, further studies. So practice it, student. Just imagine in your mind and you do multiply with these elements with the coefficients. Okay? So our next topic is making chemical equation more informative. So to get more informative equation, we have to do this. This is the characteristics of the reactants and the products. The chemicals made more informative by expressing this some of the characters of reactants and products. This is our reactants and this is our products, right? Remember? So to do more informative, we have to apply these characteristics in these equations, right? First is physical state, then heat changing, gas evolved and precipitate formed. So first of all, expressing the physical state. How? For example, while candle is burning, when you observe, this is the solid, the candle is in solid state, right? And while the fire will come in contact with this candle, then what happened? Actually this candle is in wax, which is it is a wax, right? So when it is solid in condition, when fire catches this candle, then what happened? The wax will come out. As you observe, I hope you all have observed, the wax will melt. So this melting comes in a liquid position, right? So the state of the experiment is changes from solid to liquid form, which is in wax form, right? This wax is in liquid form. So this changes from solid to liquid form. This is physical changes. As well as the light burning, what it gives out? It gives out carbon dioxide plus water. So here water like liquid comes out, as well as this fire gives out carbon dioxide gases, is liberated carbon dioxide gases. So this state, physical state, will change. So this is our physical state example. So students, to make chemical equation more informative, this physical state of the substances may be mentioned along with the chemical formula, right? So here some of the chemical formula, that is gas, liquid, solid respectively. Like here, as I said, gas is represented by G, liquid is represented by L, solid is represented by S, and aqueous in the sense watery substances, which is called aqueous, okay, which is represented by AQ. And if the heat is involved in this equation in the experiment, then we can't write this complete heating. We have to just represent it by this symbol. This symbol is nothing but heating. These formulas we have to apply on this equations, this chemical equation on this, so that we can get more information about this equations, these experiments, right students? See, for example, FeO3, here this is a solid, okay, this element is in solid state, and aluminium is also in solid state, okay, and here Fe3 is also in solid state, here it is also in solid state, but in this reaction heat is evolved, so we have to write like this. We can't write like heating is evolved, so we can't write like, we have to just indicate this symbol, which means heat is evolved. Like this equation, similarly we have to give the physical state to these problems also. So writing physical state to these equations, like hydrogen is here gas state, and oxygen is also a gas, but while doing experiment, in the experiment it will give a water which is an aqueous in state, okay. So here Fe is in solid state, and H2O is a aqueous, right? So it gives FeO4, which is a solid, right? And H2 is a gas. This gas is, after doing experiment, it releases, so the release symbol is like this. So gas is released in the atmosphere, in air, right? So like this, give this physical statement to this equation also. So students, your students homework is write these two equations and give this physical state to this equation. Try to give this physical state to this equation, and write these three equations in your homework and complete it and submit in your groups by the time. Okay students, right? Thank you students, have a nice day.